3-bean ham soup. It is so delicious and so easy to make. And if you have a good stock pantry, you don't even have to go to the grocery store. So I made this crock pot full of hearty soup. It sat and cooked all day today, and we had it for dinner tonight, and it was absolutely delicious. So here are the things that I pulled right out of my pantry. I had a jar of mixed 3 beans, baby lima beans, some kidney beans, and some pinto beans. These were like odds and end pieces of packages I just kind of put together in a quart jar. And I like to make 3-bean soup. I don't like more than 3 beans in it because it can tear your stomach up. If 15-bean soup is just too much for me. But here is some canned tomatoes that I put up in the summer and some dehydrated onion. And I had a package of ham pieces in my refrigerator that I needed to use up. So I thought this would be a great way to use it up. It is supposed to be really cold tomorrow, so we can have the leftovers. So the first thing I did was yesterday I soaked the beans in a big bowl overnight, and I just added 2 quarts of water to the 1 quart of the mixed beans. Again, that was kidney beans, pinto beans, and baby lima beans. They were all dried. So I just let these soak overnight, and the next morning all the water had been absorbed into the beans, a little bit left. So I'm going to be taking and rinsing those. But here's what I need. I need some pink Himalayan salt, some garlic, my tomatoes and the onions, the ham, and then I also have this really good ham flavored soup base that I'm going to mix in it. It gives it a real smoky flavor. Now you can go another way. You could use the beans and make a chili. So you would need to pack a hamburger and a chili mix if you didn't want to do the ham, or you could do a chicken taco soup with the beans, with a can of the chicken breast and a taco seasoning mix. And I always like to use a little bit of cornmeal to thicken up my soups and kind of give them a chowdery taste. So this is what I'm going to make today, is the ham-based 3-bean soup. So I've got my crock pot, and the beans have been rinsed and drained, and pouring those into the crock pot. And we were getting ready to go out and spend the morning out doing a little bit of shopping, and so I just popped all this in the crock pot. Now this is the soup base I was telling you about, just 1 heaping tablespoon in 4 cups of hot water. And I'm just mixing that up, and it really does give a very smoky ham flavor to your beans, because beans can be kind of bland and they need to be dressed up. So I'm just pouring that water in and getting that last bit of seasoning out, putting that in the crock pot. I've got 4 whole cloves of garlic. I just toss those in. There's the ham. I kind of chopped it up a little bit more into finer pieces. And that was probably 4 cups of chopped ham. You could use less. Then I'm going to just open up my jar of dehydrated onions that I had from my garden this year, and just toss those in there, because if you don't have a fresh onion, the dehydrated ones work just as well. And there's my jar of canned tomatoes. Now I use this for everything, soups, spaghettis. I just love these stewed tomatoes. I'm going to pour that in the crock pot, give it a good stir. Then I've got some seasoning that I put together to give it more flavor. I've got a teaspoon of the pink Himalayan salt, a teaspoon of pepper, and a teaspoon of onion powder. Then all that gets mixed in to the crock pot, and I will be putting it back in its base. Look at that pretty soup. Oh, it was so good. It was delicious. Had a really good, rich ham flavor to it. So this is going to cook in the crock pot all day for 6 hours on high, because those beans really need to cook. So before we left, I just set the timer for 6 hours on high, and then put the lid on. Now I will fix a pot of rice when I get back home this evening, and we will actually serve this over rice. That is our favorite way to eat the bean soup. So later on this evening, it's been about 6 hours, everything has cooked nicely. I'm gonna give it a stir. The beans are nice and soft. Oh, and it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. Oh, the ham flavoring in this, it was delicious. So like I said, I had put on a pot of rice, and I'm going to be spooning this over the rice, and that's how we like to eat it. Just a little bit of rice in the bottom, and then you just spoon the soup right on top. If you love beans and you love ham, this recipe is for you. It's so easy. It does the cooking all day, and then you have a nice hearty supper when you get home. I just toasted up some white bread to go with it, and it was delicious. So I hope you'll give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite kind of beans are and how you like to use them in recipes. Again, thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone has a very blessed day. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button, and you'll get all of my community announcements. If you don't hit the notification button, you don't get those community tab announcements. So again, thank you so much for watching. Take care.